Figure 6.65. This is actually my second attempt at this. I got myself all turned around and couldn't see through the noise, and so sometimes with these parts you got to take a step away from it and regroup and come back. Unfortunately, if it happens on the CSWA, you don't really have that luxury. You've got to work through it, take another look at the items. Just try to go through the sequence and see if you can identify the mistakes. So we're going to look at the 81 by 57, and I think I like this one as a layout sketch because it is so complicated. We're going to put a lot of geometry, and I'm just going to treat that sketch as an envelope and or a skeleton, and go ahead with creating geometry on top of it. So front plane, we'll start our rectangle, 81 by 57, and we can do the zoom to fit, and everything will kind of be in that mark. So have a couple of lines that we can generate. That will be the top and the bottom levels. And so what I'm looking for is kind of where it comes across this flat and this extension on the shelf. And we have 14 off of this end, comes up through the circle and goes to the intersection there. And the 52 comes back from that side and generates that ledge. So let's go ahead and put those in. Two, and then we are 19 off of the base, and from that line to the next one is 32. Okay, so that gives us quite a bit of our intersections. So this one, I think I'll go ahead and switch it over to a construction line. This one we might actually be using. A couple of the angles. I don't really care about the chamfers. We'll put those in after the fact. This front angle, that can be kind of important, so we're going to create a line from here to here, and we have a distance of 29 from the bottom edge, and then from the very top, distance of 24. Alright, so to find the intersection, we've pretty much got that ledge coming over, and then where it hits the angle, we're going to have the 29 millimeters. But let's see, we have that geometry here. Double check my number. And so if we were to go with the center point arc, should be able to drag out and up. Have it create the arc geometry. Place the 29. So that did not get coincident to the ends. So select, control, select, select, control, select, and don't need that one right now. We're going to just kind of drag back and forth until I find that coincident, and that'll give me that lower arc geometry back transitioning into the shelf. Alright, so we're ready for some arcs, and I find it's about as easy to draw the circles. So we have a radius of 41, which would give us diameter of 82, and on the leaders I would like that to still read radial, and so its location is going to be vertical along that leading edge, and then we're looking at an intersection of 36 along that lower edge. So I'm going to make the line and the center point coincident. To help with that intersection, I'm going to place a point, and could probably barely see the relation that it pulled, but it was the intersection. If it doesn't give me an intersection, then I'll select Control Select, do coincident, go back, pick up the circle and arc, do coincident, and that'll have the same effect. Alright, so off of the top of the part, we'll come down 36. That'll give us our location. And the next one, we'll do the 19. And actually, I think that one needs to be above that line. Alright, so same thing, if I tell it that it is 38, when I set the radius, it should return the 19. And let's see, we're going to need another point. So if I do a center line, that is going to be from the front 24 back. So we'll place that dimension. And then since that is the top, then we're going to have a coincident from that end point to the circle. We have a 10-degree arc. So bring that, make sure it's coincident, and then it's tangent. It doesn't move strange, and if I highlight the line, I see my tangency and my coincidence. Need to set our 10-degree angle. Oops, helps to be in the dimension tool. Okay, getting a little button happy. There we go. 10, and then this end point goes to the intersection of the radius. And let's see, how does this move? All right, so we got coincident to the edge. I did not get it coincident to the vertical. So once we bring that coincident, then those will be in place. Alright, my next circle will be along that edge, and this has a limit dimension, so we're going to be doing the 14.29 millimeters as the maximum material condition, and we'll switch it over to a limit dimension with a 0.01, and then its location vertically is off of this lower edge at 14. Alright, so even more busy. Then zoom this up since I was having trouble seeing it. So where is, my 1140 is the maximum material condition, and it's 24 up and 14 in. Okay, so from the ledge, 24 over 14, and we'll give it the distance of 11.4, and then our limit with a 0.01, and then for our future reference, I'm going to highlight both of those, right click, and then just off the screen on the other selection we're going to mark for drawing. So those two should turn to black. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. I think I've got most all the geometry except for the chamfers. So again, because of the complexity, we're going to make this the skeleton or the envelope. I kind of think of it as an envelope in the terms of how big it is and that we're setting that, and it's kind of abstract. So on the front plane again, we're going to pick up our sketches, and I may actually just go ahead and trim this when we get it. Okay, so if I convert the entities, can't really drag off that point because of the coincidence. Alright, so we're going to go into trim entities, and I'm just going to start selecting. And those are looking pretty good. So I ended up with way more than I needed. Oh, need that one, Control Z. And then let's go back into trim one more time and we'll make that one go away. Alright, so other than the chamfers, that's pretty much my outside shape. So we'll accept from this face back. Let's see if we have a distance up somewhere. We have 24 across the bottom, so I'm going to do that one first. And we'll features, extrude. I'm going to drag it in that direction. Oh, we ended up with an extra, so I didn't quite get it all trimmed out. That'll put me back into the sketch if I just X out of it. Alright, I'll try one more. Kind of go to all that trouble to trim. I'm really expecting to see it go right into the preview of the body. So 24. And I did not include the holes in that selection, so if I wanted to, I could go back to the contours. Can't select because I didn't convert them, so let's go ahead and include them. Alright, one more time. 24, reverse the direction, give it the depth, go ahead and hit OK. On the front side then, we have the step. Could pretty much stay with those items. With the convert, you can pull those out. And then I'll just connect the dots for the other. Alright, and there'll be less that I have to trim. Alright, so since that moved, say the end point, we'll come back to that point. And I'll just drag from that point to that point. And then that body, let's go ahead and bring it back in. Across the bottom face. Okay, we have a 43 total. Alright, so this would be one of those that could do the math, but I have that offset from surface thing that I can work from. And since I didn't include the hole, let's go ahead and close it, convert it. Go back in, extrude. Offset from surface. It picked up my contour and region, so that means I must have something overhanging, like right there. Alright, so little blue dots. Something in the trim or the drag didn't complete. Might as well go ahead and fix it. And we'll go offset from surface. I'll rotate around, pick the back face. If I reverse the direction, then we're going a total of 43. Okay, so that brings it out to the size I need. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I'll go back into the plane. We got a couple ways to do that. I'm not sure where I'm located. I just have those that distance of 12. So if I open up the sketch on the back and convert in the circle, I'm going to bring that back, bring it around to the front so when I rotate it, and then go features, extrude cut. I know that the from is going to be an offset of 12, and we'll reverse the direction so it's interior of the part, and then the distance is going to be 24. Okay, so that takes the cut out of the center. And don't think we're given any numbers there. So that all looks pretty good, like we got it. So I'm going to hide the envelope. Do a quick double check before we start in on the chamfers. So 5 millimeters by 45 degrees. Come over to the chamfer and set it to 5. The back is set to 7. And there is a radius of 5 in the lower. Alright, so I'm going to look at this in the hidden lines visible. I should see all my geometry. Don't think I missed anything. So we'll apply the other material as a cold rolled steel. And if we switch back to the solids, we're going to see that little bit of color change. So we're ready to save this and go to the next.